right, so hello everyone, and welcome to the next class in the Enlightened Money course. Tonight, we are joined by a special guest, and we're going to be kind of taking a look at some other insights, some other topics that all kind of weave together into this idea of the Enlightened Money course. Just to kind of give a little bit of an introduction, I do have a bio here, but I also want to share a little bit about how I'm connected to Manoj, our speaker for tonight. So I was introduced to Manoj through a mutual friend several years ago. I want to say it's about almost 4 years ago now. And it was right when I was starting on my trading journey. And it was through Manoj that I was introduced to my first trading mentor. And he kind of was a manifestation for me. I had been thinking about kind of this wealth perspective and thinking about other ways to create sources of income and to build skills that create income. And I was kind of manifesting that, and then Manoj showed up and he was like, "Hey, have you ever thought about, trading currencies?" And he's like, "Let me introduce you to my mentor." And he, put us into a group chat and got us all talking and kind of nudged me along the way to the point where I was enrolled in the course and kind of doing my thing. And, that was kind of like the first experience that I had with Manoj. And it's been that like over and over again for as long as I've known you. You've been sending me to people, to places, to resources, to ideas, and it's been nonstop value for me. So I'm so grateful to know you just in general, and thank you for all the ways you've contributed to my life. And I am really excited that we have the opportunity to welcome you into our space for this class tonight. As I was sharing with someone earlier, I've been trying to get Manoj into a class, into a podcast, some sort of interview, something for what, at least a year now. We've been talking about this. So I'm so glad that everything finally aligned and we're able to welcome him to our space tonight. So with that being said, Manoj is a life coach and an intuitive energy healer, as well as, of course, being an investor, primarily in cryptocurrencies and Forex. As a life coach, Manoj uses tools such as hypnosis, neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, and subconscious release technique to help people heal of trauma, rewire their money programming, and build their life by intentional design. So with that, welcome, Manoj. Awesome to have you. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Josiah, for having me. And, I've really been super pumped to be here finally on one of your events. And I partook in one of your School of Imagination courses a while back. I think this might have been before the School of Imagination fully set off, right? Yep. And it was absolutely incredible. And I took away so much from it back then. And we've been on our journey and in our different ways. And we finally converge yet again. This is so amazing.
Cool. Yes. Awesome. Yeah. So Manoj, to kind of get us started here. So obviously you have a wide-ranging background of tools and techniques, and some of those, I've been introduced to. But in particular, you were sharing with me that you've had some insights regarding perspectives of wealth, around money programming, around releasing, old money programming, and in particular around intuition. So I kind of wanted to kind of set you off in that direction and let you run with it.
No, I love it. I love it. I think this is everybody. You're in such great hands to be in Josiah's mentorship. This is you're learning from an amazing mentor. Like seriously, you're learning from an amazing mentor. I can't speak highly of Josiah. I'm just honored to be here. And he sent me a video so I could hear about some of the topics that you've been discussing. And it's funny because as I've been going on my journey, many of the things that he was talking about, I was reflecting on, and I was seeing that so much that I'm learning it's very much in alignment with what he's saying. And I was feeling how when I was looking back early on in life about how, making money, it had to be, like you had to either work hard or study hard, right? There was that type of consciousness of mind. And then later on, I shifted to, okay, how much value can I provide? How much value and service can I provide to others? It's all about serving others. It's all about being providing and raising my value that I'm providing to others and really being there for them. And then at some point, I really stumbled upon being the vessel. Josiah, I think he said being the instrument, right? And this is what he was talking about with being alignment with source, with God, with the universe, right? Like when you're in that full alignment, it's like heaven and earth are meeting. It's like possibilities are endless, and it's so crazy because the 6 degrees of separation become now a 1 degree of separation. It's mind-boggling sometimes when you're really tapped into that space. But one of the things I wanted to just share, I connect in with, with my intuition, and I just ask, like, what am I supposed to talk about? What are some things I'm supposed to share? And so today, Josiah, I didn't even tell you about what I'm going to be sharing about, but some of the things I was told was to share some NLP tools, right? And also I'm going to introduce you all to some subconscious release technique, and we're going to do a group clearing, if that's okay with you, Josiah. I'd love to do a group clearing with everybody here on the call, and I'll explain a little bit about that. So I'm just going to tell a story, right? So imagine all of us have gone to school at some point or another, right? And imagine, you might be in 4th grade, and you're in a class, and your teacher is there and is asking a question and is saying, what is 10 plus 10? And everybody's trying to raise their hand to answer the question. And maybe you raise your hand, and then what ends up happening is the teacher calls on you, and then you say, oh, I know this answer, it's 15. And you say 15. And then everybody starts laughing, and then you feel all the eyes on you, and it feels like warmth, and it feels like heat, and you might not be able to concentrate, and you might not feel like being in that moment, and you might just tense up a little bit, and then everybody starts laughing, and you feel that embarrassment, you feel that shame, and then you find out that the answer wasn't 15, it was actually 20. And when you have that happen, you might start having chatter within your mind that might tell you, you know what? I'm never going to open my big mouth ever again. I'm never going to take that risk ever again. Never, never, never am I going to do that again, right? And it's all a simple experience that has very little meaning, but we attach so much meaning when we're growing up, right? And one of the things that I've been trained in is subconscious release technique. And we really focus on the first 18 years of our lives as the formative years for all the mental programming, all the beliefs and the patterns. So that's just a small example, right? But an experience like that could prevent somebody from having an audience on YouTube like Josiah. It could prevent somebody from taking that leap of faith with a business, because what if I open my big mouth, and what if something bad comes out, right? And imagine people who've gone through heartbreak, right? Like if you had a relationship that ended badly, you might have this much amount of love before, right? And then you have a relationship that ends badly, and then you might have this much amount of love. And then your next relationship happens, and then you might only open yourself up to this much amount of love. And then you might open yourself up to this much amount of love. But really, are you giving yourself freely? Are you really being used as an instrument? And so these are examples of like traumas, mini traumas that can happen to us growing up. So for example, like in school or like with relationships, right? Those are mini traumas, but think about the financial traumas, right? So we all have traumas financially. So think about what type of household you grew up in. Was money talked about, or was it taboo, right? In my family, it was very taboo. People didn't talk about money. We don't talk about those things. That's not proper to talk about these types of things. We don't ask these questions, right? And when somebody asks you, how much are you making? Do you feel that tenseness come up, and you're like, oh, I don't know how to answer that question, right? Or are you not afraid, right? And so when you look at these types of things, there are many traumas that get developed, especially with money. And there's different domains, right? There's saving, there's investing, there's spending. Oh my goodness, I don't know how much I've had to work on with spending and not feeling guilt around spending. When I spend, I feel guilty because do I really deserve this thing? Should I be spending this on me? Am I worthy of this, right? That's a very common one. And then receiving. Imagine putting yourself out there as a business person and then not understanding that part of the equation is receiving. I can give, but if I feel apprehensive about receiving, I can't take your money, then how open am I in the flow, right? How open am I in that flow of wealth transfer, of energy transfer? And Josiah talked about generational wealth. I love that he talks about generational wealth. It's such an amazing topic, and he is such a gifted speaker on this topic. 7 generations, right? That is an amazing seed to plant in your mind, right? 7 generations we're going to be talking about. But yeah, I love this topic. And one thing that is so pivotal to all of this is your intuition. It is so pivotal. One thing that I spent a year of my life doing was I went through a ton of wealth training, and specifically around intuition. And I was reading and doing visualization exercises. I think me and Josiah were pretty much in similar circles because he teaches pretty much the same, like a lot of the stuff that I've been doing, and he's been teaching it for years. And he talks about it on YouTube. So amazing. And one thing that I kept doing was focusing on being open to the flow and being open to spot opportunities and being able to take action on opportunities. And I remember there was one year where one of my mentors kept trying to tell me that you just need to change your perception. You need to change and shift the way you relate to the universe and the way you relate your story that you have about everything. You need to shift this. You need to have a new story that everywhere I go, I find money on the floor, and God and the universe, God, the source just rewards me with an abundance of money. And I thought this was so preposterous. I kept thinking, like, that's such a BS idea. Like, I don't know how you can like teach this. And he challenged me to do this. And for almost 2-3 months straight, I kept repeating affirmations. I was writing these things down. I was visualizing with my mind. You know, I'm just going on a run, and lo and behold, there's a quarter there. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to put it in my wallet. Lo and behold, there's some pennies there. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to put it in my wallet. Lo and behold, there's a $20 bill. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to put it in my wallet. And I thought this was so preposterous, but I would go through this visualization exercise, and I would go through this exercise over and over and over again, right? And a year goes by, and now a year goes by after doing that, and I've been committing to that every single day. And the thing that I noticed was there is tons and tons of money that people just drop on the floor. I'm not even kidding you. This happens every single day. People just drop money. Like, you really need to check your wallets, people. Like, it's on the floor. It's coming out of people's pockets or wallets, and it's there. And I walk every single day. I go for a walk and I see pennies, I see nickels, I see quarters. And this last 2 weeks, I took a trip with some friends, other life coaches, and we were hanging out in Denver. And I had done so much of this mental work to train my brain that money is always coming to me, and I'm always in the flow of money, and I am finding money everywhere I go. And I'm traveling back with some friends, and we're leaving the movie theater, and we're walking back to my friend's car. And as I'm walking, it's pitch black, mind you, and I see a glimmering, shining light that looks like it's green. And I look on the ground, and it's 2 $5 bills. And I pick it up, and I'm like, what on earth is this? And nobody else saw it. And I was looking around, there was nobody else there. And I said, thank you, universe. This is amazing. And I just put it in my wallet. And that is what it looks like to have intuition working hand in hand with your purpose. And when you craft your purpose, that your will and your intuition are in alignment. See, going through these exercises, it's not about just taking from people or taking from the universe, but you are training your mind that these opportunities exist and that they're always there and that they're always showing up. And every time I go for a run, every time I go for a walk, every time I go out and about, there's so much just loose change dollar bills here, dollar bills there, 10s and 20s and stuff like that. Maybe I need to change my story to $100 bills are just everywhere around me, right? Maybe that's what I need to do, Josiah. But seriously, like, you'd be surprised at how much opportunity we block ourselves off from because we train our minds that this is not possible. That never happens. There's no, maybe that happened that one time, but he just took that money from some poor guy that dropped his cash, right? We make up stories about things, about why that's a bad thing to find money on the floor, why that's a bad thing. It's rotten money, it's dirty money, it's blah, blah, blah money, right? So all of these things are subconsciously stored in our mind, right? So just like how we wanted to raise our hand and say 10 plus 10 equals 15 and we got embarrassed, we shouldn't feel embarrassed about making money. We shouldn't feel embarrassed about being open to the flow of money, being open to the opportunity of money. Money does want to come to you, but you have to be in alignment with it. And if you feel that receiving money is a block for you, this is something we're gonna shift. And I really want to do an energy clearing with you all. I'd be so excited to do that. And I wanted to just share like a few tools from NLP that really help me when I do affirmations. And usually every few weeks or so, I'll get like a little notebook like this, a little set of note cards, and I'll just put affirmations and ideas on here that really stick out to me. And I'll just carry this around with me. And every so often, I'll just remind myself of these wonderful things. And I'll ask myself questions. Where on the pyramid are you committed to going? Are you in the top 1%? Are you in the bottom 50%? Are you in the 95%? Where are you on these pyramids, right? I'll ask myself questions. But I'm going to share some NLP tools with you today. And there's about 3 that I'm going to share. And the first one is the phrase, and it's just a 3-word phrase, and it's for some reason. Now, NLPers, we don't really question it. We just learn it. But people who are in hypnosis, they might use this phrase a lot. For some reason, right? And the interesting thing about this phrase, for some reason, is in hypnosis and NLP, this is called a slip command. And whenever you use this in an affirmation setting, you're directly skipping the conscious mind, going deep, deep, deep into the subconscious mind. So I have an affirmation. It says, for some reason, I'm the type of person who finds my way to success, right? So if I just use the normal affirmation of, I'm the type of person who finds my way to success, yeah, maybe I believe that, maybe I don't. But my subconscious is going to either be fighting with me or contending with me and trying to struggle with me. No, you're not. You don't find success. You don't really do that. But if I use that phrase, for some reason, I'm the type of person who finds his way to success, totally slips through, goes unnoticed. It's like a Trojan horse, except for good. And now it's inside your mind and it's planting seeds. For some reason, really powerful affirmation there. Another one that's really powerful, as usual, 2 words. This is even easier than the last one, as usual. So honestly, this is such a game changer, this phrase right here. So whenever you want to make something powerful in your life, as usual, I have the relationship I desire. As usual, I have the job I desire. As usual, money comes to me all day long. As usual, we want to like program ourselves and make it easier for ourselves. Don't just use affirmations and go to war with your mind, but use your mind to go to war for you, right? So for some reason, I just find so much money every single year. For some reason, I always find an extra boatload of cash lying around on the floor. For some reason, people just want to give me money, right? And if it makes you laugh, that means that you're starting to get in the positivity of the flow of it. You want to be in a happy state when you're doing this, right? So banter back and forth when you do this. For some reason, I just keep finding money everywhere. For some reason, my intuition just always guides me to success. And then as usual, this is a beautiful one. So when something happens to you and your friend just comments on you, wow, you just got upgraded to first class. That never happens to me. And you should just say, as usual, this is just what happens. As usual, this is what happens for Shweta. As usual, this is what happens for Josiah. As usual, this is what happens for Nancy, right? You want to make this normal in your everyday life. And the whole point is, it's not that you're going to war with your mind, but you're telling your mind, this is the normal that I face each and every day. As usual, I am vibrating at opulent health. As usual, I have wonderful relationships. As usual, I have tons and tons of energy. Right? You want to use your affirmations for your good, right? So for some reason, as usual. And then another one that I like to use is, it's just another day in the life, right? This is one of gratitude, right? So when Josiah is just having a stupendous day and he's getting upgraded to first class for free, and he's getting his brand new, he's getting like hotels for free, hotel rooms and ticketing, everything's just working out in his life. He would say, it's just another day in the life of Josiah, right? And he's normalizing in his mind that these types of things happen all the time for him. And think about the consciousness that exists outside of this bubble, right? There's people out there and they are telling themselves, for some reason, I just can't make it in life. As usual, somebody else just takes my money. As usual, I just lost another paycheck. It's just another day in the life of the struggle, right? We can either use this programming for good or we can use it for bad, right? So we want to be very mindful of what we're telling ourselves, right? So for some reason, as usual, it's just another day in the life. Get excited about that one, right? Like really pump up the energy there. It's just another day in the life, right? You get so pumped, get so excited. And, and I'm not going to say that you won't face adversity or you won't face obstacles, but the thing is, when you face obstacles and adversity, right? I believe this is the Marines. They have this saying that you don't rise to the occasion, but you fall to the level of your training, right? So if you're using this as your training each and every day, you're building these blocks for some reason, as usual, it's just another day in the life, then this is going to be your new normal. This is going to be how you operate in life. When adversity comes your way, you're just going to be relying on this. Nope, for some reason, I'm always overcoming my obstacles. As usual, I'm doing this, this, and this. You're going to be like Neo in the Matrix, stopping those bullets, right? This is what it looks like to be well trained over your mind. And whenever we face obstacles, here's a really powerful one. And I use this also for when I feel like I'm under energetic attacks. It's I remain rooted in my intentions, or I remain rooted in prosperity. I remain rooted in whatever it is. And I just keep telling myself that. I take a couple deep breaths in and out, and I just tell myself, I remain rooted in. And so let's say you have somebody who's just trying to trigger you, and you just are holding your space and you're just saying, I remain rooted in peace. I remain rooted in peace. This is another slip command, because remain means that you're already there. You're not having to arrive there. You're not becoming rooted in peace. You're not becoming peaceful. You're not becoming in prosperity, but you remain rooted in peace. And so you're not remaining there like maybe you're going to get knocked off, but you're rooted in it, right? You're rooted in it. I remain rooted in peace. I remain rooted in love. I remain rooted in prosperity. I remain rooted in my intuitive abilities, right? These are the types of things that we want to program ourselves for, because we owe it to ourselves to be wealthy. We owe it to ourselves and the world to be wealthy and to share the wealth and to bless others, right? We want to bless others. So, sometimes we might have obstacles in our minds, right? We might have obstacles like sometimes our bank account may not reflect what we want to train ourselves in our minds, right? Sometimes let's say Josiah has a $1 million investment opportunity and he's coming to me and maybe I don't have the cash. And he says, hey, Manoj, I really want you to check this out. There's this $1 million property. We can invest in it together. You just need to put down $250K. That's all you need to do. This is there. And maybe I don't have that there. And maybe my mind wants to go into a victim mentality and tell me, as usual, I'm going to miss an opportunity. For some reason, I can't find the money. It's just another day in the life of poor Manoj, right? It might want to do those things automatically, but what you want to do is shift that thinking, shift and take control of the mind. It's running on autopilot. So why not give it autopilot blessings and restoration and redemption over your mind, right? Why not give it blessings and transformation instead? So how I handle that situation, when somebody, whenever I feel lack, I try to shift it. So instead of saying I'm strapped for cash, one of our mentors, actually Josiah and I's mentors in Forex, a man named DC who taught us Forex, he said, your speech reveals your psychology. He said this to us when we were taking this 5-day course together. And that really stuck with me from like a life coaching perspective. And when I say the words, I'm strapped for cash, what are the words I'm using to describe myself, right? I am strapped, like I am literally like in a, I'm wearing like, you know, I don't know what you call it, like with the people wearing in an insane asylum, right? Like I'm strapped down for cash. Like I don't have it. That's what I feel, right? I am strapped for cash. Pay attention to the words we're saying, right? I'm strapped for cash. How many of us use the phrase, oh, I just got tied up, right? I just got tied up, really? Like, did I just get tied up? Oh, I couldn't do it because I just got tied up. Pay attention to the words. Our speech is revealing our psychology, right? So instead of saying I'm strapped for cash, in your mind, you want to say something like, I'm on the verge of fresh cash flowing to me, and I'm getting ready to let you know when I can play with you. I'm on the verge of fresh cash flowing to me, and I'm getting ready to let you know when I can play with you. You want to think about the game of life, the game of money as a game, right? You don't want to make it a serious thing about checks and balances and balancing things and trying to get things up and running. You want to be thinking about it in fun. You want to be thinking about when I can play with Josiah and we're going to go in on this $1 million investment. Josiah, I'm on the verge of that fresh cash flowing to me, and I'm getting ready to let you know when I can play with you, right? So you're not taking on the victim mentality anymore. You're not saying I'm strapped for cash, Josiah, I don't have it right now. Well, you know, maybe some other time. You're not taking that on, but, and remember, every single word coming out of your mouth is going into your subconscious. I'm on the verge of fresh cash flowing to me, and I'm getting ready to let you know when I can play with you, right? So this type of thinking, you want to get your words flowing in a way that is blessing you, right? So if the Bible says that life and death are in the power of the tongue, right? So either you're speaking forth a curse or you're speaking forth a blessing. So why would you not want to bless yourself? For some reason, my life is abundant and full of miracles. One that I like to do all the time is, for some reason, my life is a storybook filled with pages and pages of miracles and blessings, right? Like I like saying things like this. It sounds kind of outlandish, but for some reason that just keeps going into my subconscious mind. As usual, it goes into my subconscious mind. It's just another day in the life, right? You feel that gratitude, you get pumped up into a state. And when you feel attacked, you say things like, I remain rooted in peace. I remain rooted in love. I remain rooted in forgiveness. I remain rooted in prosperity, right? When your bank account doesn't match you, you can say, I remain rooted in the flow of money. You can say these things, right? I'm on the verge, right? Like you're on the precipice of that money breakthrough, right? This is the type of things that you want to go through. So I want to do a clearing session with you all. But before we do that, I really want to get the blood flow going to the mind and the visuals. So I just want everybody to close your eyes, and we're going to just do a little bit of a visualization. And I really want to get everybody focused on what are their blocks, right? And this is going to help us when we do a little bit of clearing in a little bit, right? So everybody just get rooted in your seat. Just plant your feet on the ground, feel your butt in your seat, let your arms relax, let your neck de-stress, let your head kind of roll back a little bit and just get relaxed. Take a deep breath in and out. All right, and what I want you to do is imagine you are in your life right now and you're focused on giving. And so you know how much money is in your wallet, you know how much money is in your bank account, and you're just going to go about your routine for the day, and every single opportunity you find, you're going to give. So whether it's of your time, your money, your energy, your resources, whether it's at work, whether it's with your business, you're going to give. Maybe you have a client. Maybe you're going to be gifting them some sort of gift. Maybe you see somebody on the street. Maybe you want to pay for somebody's Starbucks. Maybe you want to give somebody who's homeless. Maybe you want to give them an opportunity. Maybe you want to bless them. You want to give. And you want to give. And you want to give some more. And you want to give some more. And notice all the money in your wallet or your purse, and just give it, send it off to the universe, and give it, and just give it some more. And notice how much is in your bank account, and just withdraw all the cash from your bank account and just give it out, hand it out to people, just give it out freely. Act like today is, maybe you're Santa Claus and you're just giving out money. Just give out the money, just give out money, just keep giving money, and just keep giving money, and keep giving money, and keep giving money, and keep giving money, and keep giving money. You're rolling out your life savings, and you're just giving, and you're blessing people with money. You're giving and you're blessing, and you're giving and you're blessing. And you're down to your last couple of bills, and you're just giving and you're blessing, and you're giving and you're blessing. And now you're done with all the money. And now you have clothes, you have a home, you have a car, you have pets. Whatever you want to give, you can give that away too. Whatever time you want to give that too. And just give, and give. Just keep giving, and keep giving until you can't give anymore. And just sit there for a moment. You've given everything that you can. Take a deep breath in, hold, and release. Very good. And now we're just going to go back to your house, go to bed, go to sleep, and just wake up. Now it's a new day. And now is going to be the reverse of that. We just spent a whole day giving. And now you're going to be taking a whole day to receive, to take. And so now everything you're doing on your day-to-day routine, you're going to work, you're going to your business, you're doing whatever you do for your job, or you're doing whatever you do for a living. You're going to the grocery store maybe, and you're asking them to give you this food for free. And they're giving it to you. And whatever you ask for, you will receive it. And so now you go to the gym, and they have a promotion going on, and you ask them, like, can I have that promotion? Oh, no, it's a sweepstakes. Well, can I have that anyway? And then you receive it. That's really interesting. And then you go out, and then you ask the universe, you know what, universe, I need $500 right now. It'd be really amazing if it just showed up on the floor. And you walk back to your car, and you find $500 just sitting there. Wow. And then you're going to the bank, and you're going to be thinking about putting money in, but then you were thinking, you know what? I don't want to put money in. I want to take money out. And so then you ask the bank, you know what? I know I don't have an account with you, but can I have $1,000? And they say, you know what? Normally we don't do this, but we're going to give it to you. You seem like a nice person. So then they give you this $1,000. And so then you're going about your day, and you see an ad on television, and it's telling you about this great investment opportunity, and you say, you know what? I'm going to call them up. So you call them up, you say, you know what? I really want to invest in this thing. And the person tells you, well, it's going to cost you $25,000. And you think to yourself, you know what? I don't want to spend that. Can you just give me the investment, and we'll deal with the semantics later? And they tell you, okay, sure. You know what? We've never had anybody as bold and as forthcoming as you, and you seem like an honest person, and you're very bold and very direct. Yeah, you know what? We'll give it to you. And they front you the money instead of the other way around. And everything that you ask for, you receive, whether it's from your family, whether it's from your loved ones, whether it's time, whether it's resources, whether it's love, whether it's health. Everything you ask for, you're receiving it. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to end the day. We're going to go back to the room and we're just going to go to bed. Take a deep breath in, hold, and release. Okay, and what I want everyone to do is open up your eyes. And what I want everyone to do is share, if you could, Josiah, this would be really cool. If everybody could just share what their experience was from the day of giving versus the day of receiving. And what you're doing is we just accessed your subconscious mind, knowingly or unknowingly, we just accessed your subconscious mind. So if you felt any apprehension towards giving, there might be something there, right? And if you felt any apprehension to receiving or taking, asking, there might be something there. And what we're going to do is we're going to be using the subconscious release technique. And this is a powerful tool that I've been trained in. And what it does is you use the power of the breath to clear out emotions and beliefs. And I'm just going to quickly explain this a little bit. So think of your beliefs like a tabletop, right? So you have a tabletop, and on the top of the table, that might be a limiting belief, right? You might have a limiting belief like, I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve to be wealthy. But that belief, that table is held up by legs. And so those legs are all tied to emotions, right? And those emotions might also be rooted in your memory. So maybe as a child, your uncle may have given you money and then you spent it all on candy or a PlayStation or something. And then your parents scolded you and said, why would you just waste all that money? Your uncle just gave you $100. Why would you spend it all on candy or video games? And so then you felt some kind of way. You tensed up. Maybe you felt that fear. Maybe you felt that anxiety, or maybe you felt that hopelessness. And that became part of your money paradigm, right? And so we've just explored a little bit about money paradigms with giving, with receiving. And one of the things that you need to know is that you cannot feel some kind of way about giving. You cannot feel some kind of way about asking. You cannot feel some kind of way about receiving. You cannot feel some kind of way about taking, right? And we're not talking about malicious taking. We're talking about like taking when value and services are rendered, right? But you have to really feel like you have to feel like you're at peace. If I asked you, what did you eat yesterday? And you tell me I ate some toast with avocado, then that's how you should feel, right? You shouldn't feel like, oh my gosh, I just stole from somebody. You should feel like, huh, what did I have yesterday? I think it was toast and avocado, right? It should feel like it just rolls off the tongue. It feels like there's nothing there. Oh yeah, my client just paid me $10,000. Oh yeah, we just invested $20,000. The heaviness, the significance of giving, of asking, receiving, taking, this cannot mean anything to you if you are to be wealthy, right? And when you focus on programming yourself that these opportunities are there, for some reason, I just keep finding money and making opportunities. As usual, money-making opportunities just keep showing up in my way and I take action on it. It's just another day in the life of Christine, that opportunities show up all the time and I jump on it and I make a huge return on investment. I remain rooted in peace, right? And when you keep saying these things, I'm on the verge of fresh cash flowing to me, right? You say these things over and over again. You're programming yourself for wealth. So what I wanted to do is I'm going to share a little bit about subconscious release technique. And just like that analogy about the table, there's about 62 emotions here that you can see on this list. And I'm going to be walking you through this. And there's negative emotions on this list. And I'll share this information with all of your followers, Josiah. There's negative emotions here, such as anger, disbelief, cynicism, contempt, boredom, hurt, irritation, pressure, punishment, rage, resentment, sadness, terror. A lot of these are negative. Then you also have positive emotions. Now, why would you feel positive emotions for something bad? Well, actually, these are blocks with feeling the positive. So maybe when you spent that money and you spent your last $100, you felt a little bit of block in enjoyment. Maybe you couldn't enjoy that candy. Maybe you couldn't enjoy that video game you got for yourself. Or when you received that money, you felt a block in love. I don't know if I can take that money from my grandmother anymore. I don't know, right? And sometimes we're not conscious of what's going on behind the curtain, right? We're not conscious of that. And that's what our subconscious mind is. And one of the things that's amazing is a woman named Coral Grant, she came up with this powerful process after years and years of studying, and it was called subconscious release technique. And she found out that when you take a deep breath in and you hold your breath, your brain starts to fire off signals and it starts to wonder, am I sinking? Am I dying? What's going on right now? And so your brain starts to pay attention to what comes next. So when you take a deep breath in and you say something like, I am so rooted in prosperity, and then you breathe out, your brain had to take that in as a command. This is the beauty of subconscious release technique. You can plant in powerful affirmations, but not just that, you can clear out limiting beliefs as well. You can clear out beliefs like, you know, how many of us, maybe we had a religious upbringing and we were told money is the root of all evil, young man, or money is the root of all evil, right? And that's actually not what the Bible says. The Bible says the love of money, meaning greed, is the root of all evil, right? It's not money. Money is just energy, right? It actually means nothing. It's just a piece of paper, right? So really, it's not bad. So when you think of this, right, we need to be able to clear away all the emotions. If I feel that money is the root of all evil as a belief, and I feel anger and confusion and cynicism and disappointment, then I'm always going to be triggered around receiving money. So we want to clear those things. And so what I want to do right now is I'm going to open you all up to subconscious release technique, and I'm going to be making that available to you all as well, because it is a free resource, and I'm announcing it here today on Josiah's Live, and it's like the heavens and the earth are meeting because the company made a conscious decision to make this available to everyone for free. And if you go to the website called srtclearing.com, you can make a free account, and there's about 20 to 30 certified coaches who are leading classes for free that will help you clear the way I'm clearing with you today. srtclearing.com. You can make a free account. You can get access to the full class roster, and we're going to be walking you through this clearing process. And I'm happy that Josiah is the one that I'm getting to announce this to, because all of your students, you're getting this as a free resource. Nobody is getting this, right? Nobody else who knows about, nobody knows about this, right? But because you had the eyes that see and the ears that hear, you had the vision that there is an intuitive opportunity here in Josiah's course, and you stayed tuned, you stayed plugged in, and now there's a resource here that's going to benefit you, that's going to supplement your journey with all the other teachings Josiah's teaching you. It's going to supplement your teachings. And this is going to help you clear through blocks with relationships, clear through blocks with health, clear through blocks with money that are deep within the subconscious mind. This is an added resource for free for all of you. So what I want you to do is, here's how the process is going to work. What I do is I tap into your field. This is the subconscious, right? So everybody has a subconscious, and believe it or not, all of our subconscious feeds into a collective conscious, right? So we can tap in, and I've learned how to do muscle testing. And what I can do is I can test on each of you. Is that person testing weak, meaning that there's some sort of emotional resonance, like they have some sort of baggage around this belief? Or are they testing strong, meaning, yeah, they don't really care if money is the root of all evil or whatever. That doesn't really faze them because they're focused on making money, right? So I can muscle test you all, and I'm going to work with you all as a collective today, right here, right now. And if you could, what I'd like is if you could put, Josiah, is it okay if everybody comes off mute? I don't know if this is normal for your class or not, but I'd love to just kind of work with everybody one by one. We could do this as a group and do a group clearing.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So what I'm going to be asking everybody to do is take deep breaths in, hold, and then I'm going to say a statement, and then I'm going to muscle test through this emotion list that I told you. And whatever emotion comes up weak, we're going to release that emotion, right? And then we're going to clear through those emotions. And then after we've cleared through a good chunk of emotions, we're going to add some what we call positive fill-ups, which means we're going to be seeding affirmations directly into our subconscious mind. Okay? So what I wanted to ask is, everybody who's on the call, we just did some visualizations around giving, receiving, asking, taking, right? So that usually builds up some triggers for people. So what came up for everybody, if you want to put it in the chat box, if you want to come off mute and just share what opened up for you. I'd like to just take some notes while you're talking, and I'll muscle test you all, and we can clear it all together. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Don't feel shy.
Yeah, I thought it was a great exercise. I got when you said giving out, and then you went and you got your house, and I was going giving away my house, giving away this. I was going, whoa. And then so there was definitely resistance there, and resistance in the asking for, asking, taking, finding, miracles, but asking for.
Yeah.
That were my 2 triggers. Thank you. This is a wonderful class. Great.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, Andre. How do you say your name? Is it Andre?
Yeah, it's Andre.
Andre. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Shweta, would you like to go?
It was interesting. I feel I'm used to giving, especially I'm used to giving monetarily, and there's like this like that, so it felt comfortable and fine to give. There was this weird feeling of I'm always giving and no one's giving things back to me. Like there was this weird feeling of, okay, yeah, I'll give, but that doesn't mean anyone's going to be appreciative of it. There's like this weird sensation about that. And then with the receiving, it felt like no one knows exactly what I want. Like whatever someone could give me or whatever I could receive wouldn't really hit exactly what I wanted, which was, both of those were kind of subtle and not necessarily a block in giving or receiving, but like it just didn't feel like it ever hit that right note. You know what I mean?
It's not going to be exactly what I wanted, right? It's like that moment in Christmas when you're expecting that beautiful, wonderful gift, and then your family member gives you textbooks, and then you're like, oh, thank you for these textbooks. I'm 8 years old. What am I going to do with this, right? Yeah, and I know exactly what you're talking about. That actually happened to me, so I've had to clear that before. So it's not going to be exactly what I wanted. Yeah, no, that's a beautiful one. And then also feeling appreciated, right? Like when you're giving and that exchange, right? Because it is an energy exchange, right? So if anyone else would like to come off mute, and I know that folks also wrote on the chat, so let me look at this. Easy to give and more resistance in receiving. Easier to give and more resistance to receiving. Giving felt comfortable to a point. My security was threatened. Okay, security, that's a good one, right? Security was threatened. When it came to zeroing out my bank account and giving my home, right? Oh, that's beautiful, Jessica. I had a harder problem believing that others would be so willing to give to me. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Believing they will give to me. Okay. And Frank, let's see what you wrote. You said, I was totally fine with giving until I saw my safe that was full of money being depleted, right? Oh, that's a beautiful word, being depleted, right? And it says also, so I turned off the image and then the imagery of the universe fueling my giving appeared. So technically I was giving, but I was not depleting anything. Okay, so there's like a safety mechanism that's protecting you. It seemed like a defense mechanism. Yep, exactly. So I just accepted the giving and I was fine. So I just accepted it, okay? Giving was okay, but receiving was hard. I kept arguing with you that no one gives free food for money at the bank, right? But we have to play the game, right? We have to play the game with our mind, and our mind will find ways to be open to receiving. That's the important part, being open to receiving, right? Better than you can imagine. And Shweta, you wrote, I feel like people will give something I don't enjoy. Yep, that's so true. I expect something back in return. Oh, expecting something back in return. That's a good program to clear on. Let's do that one too. They'll regret giving me things. Okay. And Carrie, would you like to share?
Yeah, I found giving pretty easily. I found it a little way where you're like, give from your bank account. I'm like, yeah, okay, I could do that. And then you're like, come to the house. And I felt a little apprehensive. I was like, oh, my home. But like, that's almost like a safety thing, right? Like I am there that I was like, yeah, I could probably do that too. And then I kind of let it go a little bit. And then when you're like, all right, now we're going to sleep back in your bed, I was like, but I just gave away my home. I'm like on the pavement right now. So then I got lost in that for a moment. And then you went to like, what could you ask for? And I didn't know what to ask for really. You know, it was more comfortable giving. And then I didn't really know what to ask for, except for when you went to the bank and pulled out $1,000. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. So it's like certain things I was totally okay with, and other times I like almost didn't know what to do, or almost felt a little lost there. It's interesting.
That's perfect, right? And we're putting ourselves in these mental scenarios that it might be feeling like we're doing mental yoga or mental gymnastics, but the important part is like to be really staying open to it all, right? And like when we're open to all, we are in the flow. Beautiful, Carrie. And Michael, how about yourself?
Yeah, thank you for letting me share. I had an interesting experience because when I was giving, my heart just kept on getting bigger and more open, and I had so much blessing, and I went to a point where when we were giving away our house and our possessions, where I surrendered, and I had this vision of me just sitting on the ground naked and being okay with it. And then the contrast in receiving, as we started to go along, receiving money, and then asking, and then taking, and I felt my heart space getting tighter and tighter and tighter, when at the end it was almost like a ball. And then it's that self-worth issue in receiving, so the contrast of giving versus receiving. So that's what came up for me. So thanks.
Beautiful. This is beautiful. Yeah, absolutely, Michael. Great work. Would anyone else like to share? Frank or Jessica said, Carrie, I had the exact same thought about going to bed after I gave my home away. Yep. Frank, at the end of the giving, I was like, okay. And I gave away everything, including my body and just my consciousness. The receiving was the best part for me. So again, when we're doing this, this is going to be some preliminary work we're going to be doing, and I'm going to be muscle testing the collective. I don't know if we have enough time to go through everybody one by one, but I'm just going to expose you all to a little bit of what subconscious release technique is, and we're going to all just do collectively. I'm going to be asking everybody when I muscle test that we take deep breaths in. I'm going to read a statement. You hold your breath, and then when I say breathe out, you're going to breathe out, and then that emotion will now clear. Right. And I'm going through this list. So there's about 60 or so emotions, and I'm muscle testing. And it's a process that allows me to kind of see whether we need to clear this or whether we don't. So let's go ahead and let's clear on okay, so we're going to clear on with giving. So everybody take a deep breath in and out. Very good. So I'm doing the intention for the collective here. Okay, take a deep breath in and hold. I release all despondency with giving, and breathe out. Okay, very good. And you don't need to repeat it out loud. I'll say it, and your mind will process it, right? Okay, very good, everyone. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all doubt with giving, and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all judgment with giving, and breathe out. Awesome job, everyone. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all punishment with giving, and breathe out. Okay, very good. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all shame with giving, and breathe out. Okay, awesome. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with faith, with giving, and breathe out. Okay, great job. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with open, with giving, and breathe out. Very good. Okay, awesome. And we're going to do with asking for money, because that's a fun one to clear on, right? We want to be able to ask. We should be able to ask and receive, right? So take a deep breath in and hold. I release all cynicism with asking for money, and breathe out. Awesome. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all disbelief with asking for money, and breathe out. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all fear with asking for money, and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all shame with asking for money, and breathe out. Okay, very good. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all uncertainty with asking for money, and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all harmony with asking for money, and breathe out. Okay, very good. Very good. Great job, everyone. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with peace with asking for money, and breathe out. Okay, very good. Okay, and we're going to do asking for what I deserve. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all annoyance with asking for what I deserve, and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all disappointment with asking for what I deserve, and breathe out. Great job. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all grief with asking for what I deserve, and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all resistance with asking for what I deserve, and breathe out. Very good. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all shame with asking for what I deserve, and breathe out. Very good. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with enjoyment with asking for what I deserve, and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with memory with asking for what I deserve, and breathe out. Okay, very good, everyone. You're doing great. And we're going to clear on I'm always giving and no one's giving back. So let's do that. We don't want to hold on to that, right? That's not a program that is fitting of high vibrational, powerful people like us, right? So let's clear that and take a deep breath in and hold. I release all disappointment with I'm always giving and no one's giving back, and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all irritation with I'm always giving and no one's giving back, and breathe out. Great job. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all judgment with I'm always giving, but no one's giving back, and breathe out. Very good. Great job. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all sorrow with I'm always giving, but no one's giving back. And breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with gratitude with I'm always giving and no one's giving back. And breathe out. Awesome. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with peace with I'm always giving and no one's giving back. And breathe out. Awesome job. And we're going to clear on being depleted. I think that was a big one for everybody. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all anxiety with being depleted. And breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all contempt with being depleted. And breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all envy with being depleted. And breathe out. Great job, everyone. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all pain with being depleted. And breathe out. Great job. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all sorrow with being depleted. And breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with giving with being depleted. And breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with trust with being depleted. And breathe out. Okay. We're going to clear on just a few different ones here. Okay. What about my reserves? So reserves meaning like what you're holding on, what you're like really protecting there. What about my reserves? That was like a message I was getting there. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all cynicism with, but what about my reserves? And breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all envy with, but what about my reserves? And breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all revenge with, but what about my reserves? And breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all uncertainty with, but what about my reserves? And breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with giving with, but what about my reserves? And breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with trust with, but what about my reserves? And breathe out. Okay, beautiful. And we're going to also clear on with receiving, because that's a big one, right? We want to be able to be open to receiving, right? So take a deep breath in and hold. I release all confusion with receiving and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all embarrassment with receiving, and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all uncertainty with receiving, and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with enjoyment with receiving, and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with hope with receiving, and breathe out. Awesome job, everyone. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with peace with receiving, and breathe out. Okay, great job. And take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with receiving, and breathe out. Okay, very good. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with trust, with receiving, and breathe out. Okay, this was just a preliminary of like what subconscious release technique makes available when you do clearing and at the subconscious mind. And this is what is available for free for all of you when you sign up for srtclearing.com. They have group clearings. But before we finish, I want to really do this the justice of putting in positive fill-ups. These are the affirmations for our subconscious mind, right? That are going to be wiring us for wealth, right? And we want to be gearing ourselves towards intuition. And one thing that I wholeheartedly believe in is we have to love ourselves deeply and completely in order for all the things in our system to work, right? So whether that's money, whether that's relationships, whether that's health, whether it's our connection with source or God or the universe, we need to love ourselves deeply and completely. When we hate ourselves, we are cutting ourselves off from our connection. We are cutting ourselves off from our vessel, our health, right? We're cutting ourselves off from our monetary advancement, right? So we need to love ourselves deeply and completely. So I always tend to start there when I do this fill-up process or this affirmation process with subconscious release technique. And so take a deep breath in and hold. I am so happy, thankful, and grateful. I love myself. I trust myself. I bless myself, and I believe in myself. And breathe out. Okay, very good. And take a deep breath in and hold. I am so happy, thankful, and grateful. I trust my intuition completely. And breathe out. And take a deep breath in and hold. I am so happy, thankful, and grateful. My intuition guides me towards my success, and breathe out. And take a deep breath in and hold. I am so happy, thankful, and grateful. My intuition always works for my best and highest good, and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I am so happy, thankful, and grateful. I always make brave choices for my best and highest good, and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I am so happy, thankful, and grateful. I love investing, and others love investing in me, and breathe out. Very good. And take a deep breath in and hold. I am so happy, thankful, and grateful. I am open to receiving better than I can imagine, and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I am so happy, thankful, and grateful that money expands my life's opportunities and experiences, and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. I am so happy, thankful, and grateful that I am on the verge of a fresh cash flow boom towards my life. And breathe out. That's right. So how did everybody feel? What were you experiencing? This is a brief look into subconscious release technique. And right now you'll get access to 30 to 40 classes for free when you go to srtclearing.com, and they have optional courses if you want to upgrade to other courses, but they do clearings on trauma. They do clearings on health. They do clearings on relationships. They do clearings on money. And all of this is in the free package, mind you. So we do clearings, and part of the mission of Subconscious Release Technique Global, SRT Global, is for world peace. So imagine all that baggage, and imagine all that stress and anxiety you've been holding on to, and imagine if we were able to impact the world and allow them to breathe deeper, to be a little bit more clear, to be a little bit less in fear of what society is saying about our finances, but what I'm getting to say about my finances. Imagine if we were in flow with our intuition and our money flow is in 100% alignment. This is what we want to make available, and SRT, the company, is making this available for free. This is part of the mission, is world peace. And so we want to get the word out. So if you have family members, if you have friends, you're getting these courses for free. There's 30 to 40 live trainings over Zoom. Every single day, there's at least 3 to 4 classes. And they are on various topics. If you have trauma, this works wonders for clearing trauma and abuse. It works wonders. And if you, and think about, it doesn't have to be sexual trauma or physical trauma. It could be money trauma. It could be health trauma. It could be relationship trauma, right? It could be connection with God or universe trauma, right? All those things. Imagine walking a little bit clearer each and every day. And that's what we want to make available to you through SRT Clearing. And Josiah and I are very much in touch. So if you want to get my contact information, you can add me on Facebook as well. And Josiah, I hope I didn't run over too much over the time, but it's a blessing to be with you all. And I'm so glad that I got a chance to spend this time with you. I'm so happy we finally got it done.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Manoj, for that. As usual, so much incredible value there. And I love everything you shared there. So many nuggets of wisdom. Also, I wanted to kind of point out, so Manoj, you work with SRT Global, correct?
Yes, I'm a partner with SRT Global, correct.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So this subconscious release technique, so full disclosure, in preparation for the Enlightened Money course, I, as an instructor, sat with Manoj for probably what, 10 sessions?
Yes. Yes.
As my mentor, clearing coach, right? Whatever term you want to put on that. Yep. I sat with him in private coaching sessions, probably about 10 of them, because I knew that in order to lead this class forward, I had to deal with any of my old money programming. I had to let go of any of my small ideas. And wow, did I let go of a lot of things over those sessions.
Yeah,
absolutely life-changing.
You've so shifted your energy. I can see it on you. I can feel it on you. And when I was watching the recording of the class you sent me, I was like, wow, he's shifted his energy so much. It's beautiful. I'm so glad that you're sharing, and you're sharing all these techniques and ideas. It's amazing.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. So I think very highly of what you're doing, Manoj. I think it's a tremendous gift that you have. And I'm also, when I first found out that you were into the subconscious release technique, you were just like studying under them. And now you worked your way up to where you're like on the team leading the whole push forward. And that, as usual, right?
As usual, right?
Just another day in the life of Manoj. So
another day in the life of Manoj, exactly. Right?
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for the value that you have given us tonight, and the wisdom that you have shared with us. It's an honor to sit with you in this class. Thank you so much for coming and for contributing. I will, when I send out the recording of this class, I'll make sure that people have your information so they can connect out to you, and as well as that link that you shared for SRT Global. And that is really exciting. I know the power of this, and I love that SRT as an organization is in tune with what's happening on the planet right now and aware that they have this opportunity to step up and meet the need and help be a way shower, right? Help to show the way forward. As we collectively, as a planet, release so much of the trauma of the old paradigm and continue to give birth to the new paradigm. So that's as usual, that's how we move things forward. Yes.
Absolutely. I just want to share one thing. So one thing I said in the beginning was that most of our beliefs are in the first 18 years of our life, right? So how we deal with relationships, we've had our archetypes, right? Our parents, our aunts, our uncles, our people in our life that we hold near and dear. We also have our archetypes in our mind around what money looks like. Rich people, evil, good people, poor, right? We have our archetypes, whatever social class you were born into, right? And those first 18 years are so pivotal to clear through, to really deep dive through. When you go through these classes, a coach will be muscle testing you. You can share with them on a group call. And don't worry, like if you don't want to show your face, you can hide the video and make it mute, right? You can mute the video. So a lot of times they have group calls just like this. And what I just did for you all, this will be an hour-long clearing call. And there's 30 or 40 certified coaches in this, and they are gifted in so many different facets, whether it's body pain. You'd be surprised at how many people get free of migraines or joint aches just from beliefs they've been holding on to, right? There's a wonderful book by a woman named Louise Hay, and she went through, it's called You Can Heal Your Body. And she talked about how the mind beliefs are tied to body ailments. And so when you clear on those, you will see and feel shifts in your body. People find that they have more radiant health. They have more radiant health programming, right? If you have food addictions, these are things that can be cleared away through your subconscious. If you have money addictions, spending or doing things, those can be cleared, right? And the first 18 years is so pivotal to deep dive through, right? Josiah did a lot of difficult work. He went through so much of the first 18 years of his life. And when we were going through this clearing process, and he was really being very diligent, he was journaling, he was really looking on what can I clear, what can I not clear, and we were focusing on what would be that 80-20 for him. And when you go to the srtclearing.com website, they actually teach you how to use the technique. So if you want to clear yourself, they'll give you a free copy of this list. They'll show you how to muscle test. They'll show you how to do these things, because the company is committed to leading a path forward, just like what Josiah was saying, because we owe it to ourselves to heal. The planet owes itself to heal. And this should be something that we give freely, right? And so I wanted, before I close, I wanted to share that when you're looking at money, right? We went through some visualizations, giving, receiving, asking, taking, but I want you all to kind of just walk away with the idea that when I'm giving, I'm blessing somebody. And when I'm receiving, I am being blessed. Because I'm blessing others, I'm receiving that blessing back. And when you are asking or you are taking something, you are now looking at yourself from a place of value. You are esteeming yourself from a place of value. I am valuable. Before it may have been, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that. But now it is, I value myself. And one more nugget before I leave, from the NLP perspective, 3 words that will really change the game, right? So if you have an old pattern or an old belief that you really want to get rid of, you want to repeat this phrase, up until now. So this puts a full stop in your timeline where this belief and pattern can no longer have any power over you. So up until now, I may have spent a lot of money mindlessly, but going forward, I behave like a wealthy entrepreneur. I'm a powerful and savvy investor. Up until now, this puts a full stop, period, end of story. This no longer is in your trajectory, no longer in your timeline. Very powerful 3 words. I just wanted to share that. I meant to share that earlier, but I wanted to share that with you all. But thank you all. Thank you all for having me. I'm so honored to be in this space because I can feel the energy here. There's such high vibrations. And I love that everybody is so committed to transforming in their families, their neighborhoods, and just, I can feel the love here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Manoj. And I love that up until now. So conscious storytelling is one of the things we've kind of gone through in some detail in this course, and it's so powerful, so incredibly powerful. And that's a awesome technique to add to that. Thank you again, Manoj, for joining us. Lovely to have you. We'll make sure we follow up with you and get people connected to your work. And thank you everyone who joined us live. What an amazing experience. I'm so glad you guys were able to join us for this. I knew it was going to be an absolute gold mine, and Manoj, you gave us so much tonight to sit with and process. And it was experiential too. I loved the meditation, the visualization of going through the day and giving and giving and giving and noticing our experience, and then the next day receiving. How insightful, what an interesting way to kind of pull back the curtain and look at our kind of innate gut responses to these situations.
Right.
Truly valuable. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you everyone for joining us live. As always, my friends, imagine wisely, and we will talk to you all again soon. Good night, everyone.